we on? Yeah, we're on. We'll call this meeting of the Economic Development Tourism Committee to order. Y'all on the end down there, y'all behave, please. Okay. All right, we'll call it to order. Let's, Representative Harbin, we're going to be here in H.R. 529. Mr. Harbin, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate y'all hearing this for me today. This is really simple. It's just a House resolution, or it's a House study committee, or creating a study committee for the music industry. And the reason for this is currently Georgia's music industry is about $3.8 billion. But we are seeing some trends that are a little uncomfortable for us because we're noticing that as we've had so many artists who've come out of Georgia, from my area, mine and Representative Sims' area, Lady Antebellum, tremendous hits, tremendous success. Zach Brown, we've seen Third Day come out of Georgia, Usher, all of these great artists. But what's happening is with the digital change in music, so many of them are starting to do their recording and production in other states. And Nashville will always be a competitor for us in that area because of their country music and the presence of country music there. But Louisiana has made some changes in their music industry that has made them very competitive. We have lost some of our production facilities to states like Louisiana. So I met with Lisa Love, who is the Director of Music Tourism for the Department of Economic Development. And if you've met her, she knows more about music than probably anyone. And this was a suggestion talking to her that she had, that maybe we try to find out a little more about what can we do in Georgia. We were very successful in holding the film industry here, creating a film industry here. The chairman of this committee was a big push behind that, and he has signed on to this resolution. And so what we want to do is see if we can do that, because one thing we noticed too is in the film industry, most of those films that are starting to be filmed here and produced here, and we're seeing studios created here, a lot of the music is created in L.A., so it's produced in L.A. So there's some things, we just want to see what can we do to make Georgia more competitive. We know we've got the artists, we've got the talent. How do we keep them here for producing their music? And so what we want to do is have a study committee where we can ask some questions. The music business dean or professor, I forget his name, he is on board with this. He's called the speaker and asked that they help us with this because he understands the importance of this, because in our higher education we've got those facilities where they can help to train these people to produce this music. So this is not just about the singers, and it's been requested that I sing, but as I've said to them, I hope that you will pass this, and I think that my singing would probably prohibit you from wanting to pass this. But that's very simply all we're trying to do, is study this, spend some time over the interim, and see what can we do as a legislature that maybe offer incentives or to work with them so that we can get our music industry where it should be in Georgia, not just with the talent, but in the production side as well. Now I'll yield for questions.
Thank you, Representative Harbin. Anybody have any questions? I think it's great. It's a proactive approach to trying to get more music industry here. Got two people lighting up down there. Who is number 26? All right, Representative Chapman.
Yes, sir. Could you, I just read this resolution. What specifically, where's money made in having them here? I mean, they're recording in a studio?
The recording studio, the production, if that music is produced here, you're creating those jobs here. In Southern Tracks, and I don't think I mentioned that, Southern Tracks was a production facility that was here in Georgia that just closed within the last year because there are better incentives in other states like Louisiana and Nashville and things like that. And it's really just trying to, it's like we did with the film industry. We created some incentives, and we brought those films here. But we don't have any incentives for those studios that are here. So the incentives brought the films here, but once the films started being produced here, the studios started being built here, and those are just jobs that are coming in without really tax incentives, but they're going where the industry is. So we're trying to make sure we can keep the industry here, and if we can do that, bring the production here. If we bring the production here, it brings high-paying jobs, good jobs for Georgia, and it gives us a presence and a competitive presence in the music industry.
So you're just trying to understand to discover what incentives they're using to get them to go to other states.
Because like everything else, the music industry is changing with the digital age. It's just easier to produce, and things are changing quickly and rapidly. What can we do to keep them here? Okay. Try to follow the trends and make sure we don't get so far behind we can't catch up.
Chairman Dixon.
I'm sure that the chairman adequately explained, and I just didn't listen. But which of these two resolutions are we actually looking at?
H.R. 529.
And they are the same. It's just 528 was a joint resolution with the
Yes,
Senate, and it's past day 30. I dropped these in relatively late. It was after a discussion I said with Ms. Lisa Love. So I think 529 is the only one that's really eligible to move.
Okay. Is there any opportunity, do you think, Ben, to piggyback onto an existing joint resolution somewhere?
Well, we could. I think if we show that we're interested in this and get it moving, we might could find one that's out there and see if we could amend it in. I would prefer that. I would like to have House and Senate, because Senator Mullis is very involved in the music industry and has been very supportive of trying to do some things, and I think he would be a help with this. But I think where we are right now, the posture that we're in the legislature, it's past day 30. I think 29 is the only one that's eligible to move, and that's just an assumption based on being here 19 years.
The experience speaks.
It's sometimes I've been slapped down after day 30 before.
Chairman Parrish.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I want to thank Representative Harbin for bringing this. And I mean, if we can be half as successful working with the music industry as we've done with the film industry in this state, it's going to create big economic impact on this state, jobs and everything else. And I thank you for doing this. And, Mr. Chairman, at the appropriate time, I'd like to make a motion.
All right. Who's number 10?
It is
Representative Williams. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was a little late, and I was just wondering, I was glancing through here when I saw Representative Harbin. I knew that there was some reference to the committee going to the Masters. Did I miss it?
Well, everyone's invited to Augusta during that week. Getting onto the grounds might be somewhat difficult, but we'd love to have you in Augusta, and we will help find you tickets, but I will not pay for them.
Thank you, sir.
Love to have you over there. It's a great time to be in Augusta. It's always a good time to be in Augusta, but it's a great time. There are a lot of great people there, and we're very proud of the Masters. And we'd love for you to come over and spend some money in our area.
No more questions. Chairman Parrish, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to pass.
We have a motion for pass. We have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, members of
Congratulations.
the committee, thank you very much.
Committee, I want to let you know, too, that the Georgia World Congress Center dropped off their annual report, and if anybody has any questions, we have the lovely representative from the Congress Center here, Stephanie Kendrigan. Anybody have any questions about the annual report? Representative Holmes.
Are we finished?
Weird. If anybody has any questions for Stephanie about the annual report.
Okay, I just had one quick thing I wanted to say since we're talking about music today. I have got for my invite resolution an old buddy, Clisby Clark, who was at the University of Georgia with a few of us here, and he wrote the 2 Georgia fight songs, Let the Big Dog Eat and Hunker Down Hairy Dogs. Y'all, come by and say hello to Clisby. He will be here about 1:30. And pardon? Shoot, me and Butch and Barbara Simpson will admit being there together. That's been a few years ago.
We're adjourned.